All right, the acting city council president in Los Angeles, Mitch O'Farrell, canceled today's city council meeting because two of its racist members, Kevin De Leon and Gil Cedillo, refused to step down after participating in this racist conversation that was captured and released. The audio was released on Sunday. Now, here is the city council president speaking.
Mr. Cedillo and I had a long, very frank conversation yesterday, and he made it really clear that he is taking into consideration the gravity of the moment and what he ultimately is going to need to do. And I can't state what that is right now, but we will continue those conversations. If I felt that there were going to be 2 additional resignations today, I would not have canceled tomorrow's meeting. I just don't see it happening.
Well, look, they won't go, but the pressure has to continue. Now, Nury Martinez, she initially stepped down as city council president. Well, that wasn't good enough. A couple of days later, she was forced out as a city council member. Also, the president of the Los Angeles County American Federation official there, he was a union official. He also was forced out from the union as well. Now, De Leon and Cedillo have not said whether they plan to resign. If both refuse to leave, keep in mind De Leon's term is not up until December 2024. Cedillo's term ends in December. Joining us now is LA Councilwoman Heather Hutt. She's the first Black woman to serve on the LA City Council in nearly 10 years. Glad to have you on the show, Councilwoman Hutt. So, I mean, this ain't hard. I mean, there's no way in the world either one of these individuals can have any integrity in terms of staying on the council, and there's no way you and the other council members can go on as business as usual with 2 established racists sitting there participating in city business.
That precisely. There's no other words. That is exactly how we feel. How can we conduct business knowing that this is the undertone or the feeling that they express privately? It is very complicated and disheartening. I'm angry, I have to say. Never in my life did I believe that any of those people would just continue for 90 minutes to spew this kind of racist, homophobic statements about something that's near and dear to my heart. The city of Los Angeles, gerrymandering, and children. All of those things are special and should be protected, not spewed and abused.
You know, and as I sit here and think about this, you know, what are their constituents saying? I mean, you know, are you seeing their constituents in their districts putting pressure on them? And, you know, because obviously there are organizations that have released statements, but what are the folks who they represent? What are they saying?
Very interesting that you asked me that. I went to a roundtable last night in CD1, which is Gil Cedillo's district, with Awaken people, and they are very hurt of being considered less than human. If you listen to the tapes, they talked about them with no shoes on and little people and how did they even get here. They are hurt, disappointed. They have worked for many years to lift these people into leadership roles, and they feel betrayed. And so it was a very deep conversation about healing, but their own people are calling for their resignation, and they won't stop. They said they can't stop. They've gone to offices that are in the field. They've gone to City Hall. They're calling strongly for their resignation.
You know, and here's the thing that gets me, this whole idea of, you know, I've got to work hard to regain the trust of the people. We have to have reconciliation. This is real simple. You can do that with your ass not being on the council.
That's exactly right. You can do it from grassroots. You have to be able to tell your friends and neighbors and act as you're not a racist, because the actions we've seen are racist. So yes, you can do it, but you can't do it in a leadership role, and you certainly can't do it representing 250,000 people that are in your district.
Absolutely. And so I cover city council in Fort Worth and other cities as well. So you have different council members who are on committees, who chair committees. Have they been stripped of their committee assignments?
Yes, a motion went in. A motion went in, but because we didn't have city council, we could not act on the motion. When we get back to council, we'll be able to act on the motion. But the motions have been written to strip those members from their committees.
Gotcha. And so when the council meets as a group officially, then that is going to happen.
Correct.
Now, Gil, he's up in December de Leon's 2024. Is there any way, based upon the city charter, for council members to be recalled? Or is the only way that they can get out of office, they actually have to resign?
They have to resign. The recall can come from the community. It's very timely. A resignation is immediate. And what people are calling for is an immediate resignation. They don't want the long time coming that goes along with a recall and the signatures that it takes and so on. They want these people to be accountable for their racist actions, and they want them to leave now.
Gotcha. Well, look, it is important. It is necessary. And surely it has to be also troubling for all the other city council members because you can't get business done while they're there. And also, frankly, there's no conversation. You have nothing to say to me if you're still sitting there and you haven't quit 5 days later.
Exactly right. Nothing to say to me either. By the way, I was implicated in those tapes. No one's called me to apologize for implicating me, for considering that I would be any part of a gerrymandering strategy or scheme, especially not against Black people. I was born before there was a Civil Rights Act. I've been fighting for this my whole life. I'm here to represent. We need more representation, not less. And if we pay attention to just the segment that you did before I got on, racism is rampant everywhere. And we need to fight it everywhere.
Let's actually speak on that because on those audio tapes, they were saying, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and put her on because we could counter her vote. And so, I mean, they were sitting here with all this maneuvering and they gave the impression that you're basically a puppet who they can control.
It's appalling to me. I'm a Black woman. I'm a strong-ass Black woman that raised 3 boys by myself. If I was going for the okie doke, I'd still be with my ex-husband. I don't go for the okie doke anywhere. I'm not anybody's pawn, and I'm here to tell everybody that. I'm here to do the work, represent these 250,000 people that agreed that I should be appointed to this position, and I'm here to do the work. I do find that interesting that your name was invoked and not one of them has reached out to you. How about that? That's how I feel too. I'm like, really? You can't call and apologize? Like if you really thought that I had any value, you wouldn't feel that my feelings are hurt? That I'm in a situation in my community where I have to explain my Blackness and my womanness, my patriotism for democracy, because undermining gerrymandering is serious. And that's what you implied that I would do. I have some words that go in the swear jar for that.
I'm quite sure. Councilwoman Heather Hutt. Actually, let me do this here. I got just a couple more questions. What has this also done in terms of the city and this Black Latino alliance? Surely it's now fractured. Surely you have now distrust. What is happening with other elected officials, other organizations to frankly not allow this to go forward as if that somehow that represents how Latinos or Latino elected officials in Los Angeles think about African Americans and think about this notion of power?
So we have another Latina woman on the council, Monica Rodriguez, and she reached out to me on Sunday night before we even went into a regular work week, apologizing and saying that all Latinos are not like that. Well, I know that. If I thought all were like that, I'd be just like them, putting everybody in an all bucket. So I know better than that. I'm inspired right now because when you look at the film of people that are in the city council chambers or the ones that are outside the chambers protesting and asking for them to resign, they're of all colors. And I'm inspired by how people are trying to come together to make a general statement that this is not okay. And so this is important to know that folks are not saying, oh, yeah, this is who we are. They're saying this is not who we are. This is not okay. They need to go because they do not represent us.
Questions? Let me do the questions for my panelists. I'm sure. Let's see if they have anything here. Jason.
So first of all, thank you for the work that you're doing. My question is, with the gerrymandering and the things that are going on in your in the city of Los Angeles, what is the fix there? Because a lot of people have actually brought up the fact that 48% of Los Angeles is Latino, but there are only, I think, 4 members on the committee. Is that actually something that needs to be fixed, or is that something that they were just trying to grab more power?
I can answer this in a strange way. First of all, I can't think how they could think. So I can't answer you about what they were thinking about because I'm not thinking like that. The second thing to know is the Department of Justice is going to look into this and they'll give us those kinds of answers. I can't give you those answers. And I can't presume to think about what their ideas were. Can you? Can you figure it out? No. We don't know.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Michael.
All right. Thank you, Councilwoman Heather Hutt. Can you give us more details on the gerrymandering issue? What was the effect going to be? Because I was searching for this and I didn't really see this information. Can you explain the gerrymandering issue and the effect it would have, especially on the African-American community there in Los Angeles?
I think I can. What they said in the tapes is that they could move the lines around so that there would be more of a Latino voting bloc in that space, which causes erasure. There wouldn't be an opportunity for any other race to run in that space so that they could have control of more seats on the city council.
Okay.
So
all right.
The idea was to move when you're doing redistricting, the idea is to move the lines around so that you put a greater population in various spaces so that the vote would be significant.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Matt.
I have a 2-part question, Councilwoman, and thank you for being on this evening. So the first question is, what happens in the event there is like a lawsuit or there's a belief that the city council has engaged in gerrymandering? Does the California legislature step in? What happens in that instance? And then the second question is, when is the deadline for the new maps? Because I know cities around the country are dealing with this with the new census data. So what is the time frame during which the city council has to actually make remedial measures?
The new maps occurred in December 2021. This conversation they had was October 2021. So we are currently living in the new space. I was appointed to this seat on September 2nd, 2022. So I have only been in this space for 42 days. So not a part of the history that put us in the maps. And we're set now. When the Department of Justice comes in, they'll let us know what kind of changes need to occur.
All right, then. Look, we certainly appreciate you joining us and sharing your perspective with us. And again, we certainly hope that these two resign so y'all can get on with the business of Los Angeles.
Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to share my story here on Roland Martin. I appreciate being unfiltered. I didn't use a swear jar, though. I wasn't that unfiltered.
Oh, well, it's all good. Trust me. We cuss all the time. So I keep telling folk, cussing keep your blood pressure low.
Well, I know that's right. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
When we invest in ourselves, our glow, our vision, our vibe, we all shine. Together, we are Black beyond measure.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?